need change. We need change. Ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Above my head, I hear changes in the air. Above my head, I hear changes in the air. Above my head, I hear changes in the air. Above my head, I hear changes in the air. Above my head, I hear changes in the air. Above my head, I hear changes in the air. Above my head, I hear changes in the air. Above my head, I hear changes in the air.
The pain that I'm feeling goes beyond activism, past community work, and teens What's the Rush. I tried to stay quiet, telling myself to hush, but I'm a mother of one black girl and 2 black sons who was taught from infancy to be kind to everyone. So why should I have to revert back to making them come home before dusk because some cops sworn to serve and protect are afraid of us? So instead of reasonable requests or even demands, they kill us while we're helpless with handcuffs bound in our hands. How can we comply to what you've commanded us to do if you shoot within seconds without allowing us to? Since when did God give you the right to determine when our end date occurs and our life ceases to matter? Man, I'm tired of scrolling Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter just to see another white cop with his gun drawn as if he was a defender. No one has hurt you. No one has caused you to shoot. We're just riding from point A to point B. Or he was just selling CDs. We want and we desire to watch our kids grow up too, to welcome grandkids into this world, just like you do. I bet your parents and your wives kissed you when you arrived home, but we're gathered together with another family picking out yet another tombstone. I'm tired. We're tired of you not serving time, calling it self-defense or the black people didn't comply.
It's the same old song, just a different day. I heard the white man found a new uniform for the KKK. My people doing a lot of tweeting, but it ain't enough acting. Let me know when y'all done preaching and y'all ready to start practicing. We need a whole lot less talking and a whole lot of activists. Throw your triangles up and you call it Illuminati, right? All I see is power controlled by people that just happen to be white. Y'all better wake up. It doesn't take Einstein to realize this system. They don't want us to have wisdom, so instead they pull the trigger. They put out these portrayals of what's hot, and they allow our youth to go to the party and take 6 shots. Meanwhile, some crooked cop let go of 6 shots on somebody's daddy on the block. They'll never understand our pain. They yelling, all lives matter, but they're not the ones being treated inhumane. So yeah, y'all matter too, but the fact still remains. For years, our culture has been abused, accused, and left in vain. So cause you had authority, you don't get convicted? Man, you took a person's life and you claim they resisted. You had your knee in his back, man. He couldn't even breathe. Why did you even bother him? He was just trying to sell CDs. It was just a failure to signal, and all he wanted was some Skittles. The system is far from fair. They left his body to just lay there. They will never understand a black person's struggle. I've never heard a white person end their conversations and be safe or take care.
It's like we set the clock back 300 years. Should I start calling you master to replace your stereotypical fears? Not all black people are criminals. We don't all have a rap sheet. And even if that was the case, does that give you the right to cover us with a white sheet? I believe all lives matter. But black people seem to be put in last place. You gun us down like animals and then leave us to die like trophies on display. You say that you're afraid, that you feared for your life, but the outcome seems to be different if the one you feared was white. Now, I'm not claiming all cops are bad. I know there has to be a good one. But what I notice is interesting is that the excuse is always he had a gun. So I guess the Second Amendment doesn't apply to the chocolate race. I guess if I want to get a gun to protect myself, I have to scribble the word thug across my face. They killed someone's father. They murdered someone's son. This is just like lynching, except they're using a gun. I can't breathe was a man's last words. And even in all of this loudness, we're still waiting to be heard. When will justice be served?
Black men murdered without hesitation. Massa, is it 2016 or are we on the black slave plantation? Are you really surprised because it's spelled out in Revelation? Self-respect thrown away like sanitation. Locked in cages with the aroma of spiritual defecation. Lost from identity crisis, yet not safe in our own oxymoron-free nation. Is murder the beginning of a black boy's destination? Seems to me it's a cultural death by melatonin association. Yet, the grace of God gives us hope instead of guilt by masculation. The revolution is not televised, but merely a recital by so-called obligation. So, what's next for the Black Lives Matter? It better be more than a crowd motivation.
We get outraged by tragedy, and for a moment, we'll stand and forget one another's strife until there is another injustice or unreasonable killing that has taken an innocent life. History is not repeating itself. Genocide, injustice, men still feel they have the right to kill. Whether they are a part of the law or a civilian, remember the high profile of Emmett Till. Shall I mention in history of others where justice was never served? We have a history of innocent lives whose voices were never heard. So much has transpired and slipped under the radar, and we say this travesty must cease. However, there have been no solutions except built prisons and institutions, and still no justice, no peace.
Considering the turmoil my race has endured in the past, we deserve equal regard to all races at last. Why can't I walk proudly with a brown face down the street without provoking blue people to antagonize and shoot me? We have truly lost sight of how things should be. We've ultimately settled for tolerance, not equality.
Now we live in a progressive era where we shouldn't be fighting for basic rights. Every mother and father deserves to kiss their child goodnight. Evoke change. Put your foot down. We need to rightfully fight back. We shouldn't be punished due to the fact that our skin is black. You shoot us down like we are nothing and leave our mothers to whine. Our souls are divine. You may have lost yours, but that doesn't give you the right to take mine. Please, don't shoot.
Up above my head, I hear changes in the air. Up above my head, I hear changes in the air. Up above my head, I hear changes in the air.